Alright guys, welcome back indeed to our Path of Exile playthrough. So now what we wanted to go ahead and do is try to get that final lab done. But in addition to that, completing your maps, just like I mentioned previously, is the main focus of the endgame content. So what you can do, and I'm going to show you guys a quick little recipe, we'll hop into a unique map that's going to have a different mechanic than just go in, kill the boss, and then we're done. This one has a little bit of a different way of a playstyle, and there are a lot of unique maps, and some of them will be difficult than others, and it will require you to kind of know how to do them. So first off, again, trying to complete your map at the Atlas screen, whatever your hotkey is, it could be different here. So again, you're just trying to complete all of them. Remember, removing and adding watchstones may make things appear that normally aren't there. Like certain maps just won't be able to drop if you go ahead and not have these watchstones in or something like that. But what I want to go and focus in on is give you guys a map that's kind of new, so we have some action and content, and then I'll give you guys some tips and tricks in the actual gameplay here. So what we're going to do is we will hop right into, this is called Hollowed Ground. It's a cemetery map. It's a really easy map, but it's just that it has like a unique mechanic, and I think it's kind of fun. And don't worry about like the watchstone too much on a lot of the unique maps, but if I want to go ahead and beef it up, we can go ahead and place all the watchstones in. Just for funsies, we can place them in. And another thing I wanted to mention, even though this one is the one that we're like affecting, right? Like, if there's an adjacent one that's towards another region, we can still beef up this area, and it'll make it higher tier, if that makes any sense. So keep that in mind as well. It's also like another way where you can remove stones to kind of block out certain aspects of the game. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and go right in to the Hollowed Ground. So like I mentioned before, this one has a unique mechanic where it's not just go in, kill the boss, where it's super straightforward. You're actually going to have kind of a running mechanic. So how it starts is you're going to pull this lever, and as soon as we pull the lever, there will be someone that will come right out. And it starts out really simple, and you're like, what the heck's going on? The first time that I played this, I was kind of confused on the mechanic. So you see this guy, he's the maker of Myers. So it's kind of like a Halloween-themed map, and you will see that we cannot actually attack him. He will just keep on chasing us all the way through. But now there's Krug the Frayed over here. I can go ahead and get him down over here. As like I said, it's going to be a really easy map for us. Drop an armor scrap, nothing too special. But he will chase us the whole time, and you'll see that the music kind of amps up as he gets closer to you. It's a really easy map, but again, we have Baladuke. There we go. Move on to the next one. So you might notice some of these names are from movies. This way over here. There's several bosses, and we will be able to defeat him at the very end. But I just want to show you guys, a unique map. This is Jigsaw from the Saw series. He goes away for a little bit and he comes back. These should be like very easy maps. Yeah, it's like way easy for our level, but that's totally fine. Still can't attack him. One more. I was just confused on it because I tried to find him. I'm like, okay, how come he's not taking any damage? And then, obviously, you gotta learn. You have to have someone tell you what to do. Or, I mean, most people would just move on to, like, seeing what else is there, right? So here we have Jason. And he should be somewhere around here. He usually kind of chases you. Now, you can see we can actually deal damage, and we'll have to build up our rage so we can actually deal the damage. But it should be like real simple and easy. We can actually throw these.
Boy next door.
Oh, there we go. And there we go. We got some maps. That's kind of cool. So, the next thing I want to show you guys, after showing you guys like a unique map. There are more than one variants of like unique maps. One of them makes you like jump across these little like ledges, but that one's relatively straightforward. As in like you don't really need me to tell you what to do on that one. It's just that like it has a mechanic where you have to have some type of mobility to get to the next area, which if you're following this guide, you'll have Leap Slam, but if you are running another build, you just have to have something with mobility. But next up, I want to show you guys how to start completing your maps. So I mentioned before that you want to try to complete all of your maps, and one way that you can do this, if you're like, you know, I've already run all the maps that I've done, so there's a few different options you can do. So the first suggestion that I have that it's going to be a lot easier, and you don't have to like spend your currency, like your Chaos Orbs, kind of like your main form of currency right now, or Exalted Orbs. But this way you can save those instead of buying stuff with them. What you can do is actually you can go to Zana, or actually you could go to Zana and purchase items through this, and if you hold Alt, you can see the ones that you completed or not completed, like I mentioned before. But you just want to make sure that you're completing the Atlas and the bonus. The Awakening, we'll worry about that a little bit later, but you mainly want to just try to complete as many maps as possible. And one thing that you can do is actually sell your maps that you've already done. Like, so for example, this Moon Temple, if I put in 3 copies of the same exact map, it'll give me a different map. So you can see that these 3 Moon Temples will give me a shore map. But it's not always 3 Moon Temples equals 1 shore map. You can put in different, okay, let me put them in a different way too. What's interesting, you can see now it's Mud Geyser. If I hold Alt, I haven't completed the Awakening, but I have completed Atlas and the bonus. Each map, this is actually something that I learned from another content creator. I want to give him a shout out. His name is Local, but I didn't actually know about this. You can actually put in, again, the same type of maps, even though this one technically has quality. It doesn't matter. Even if they're the same exact map, like vanilla white, no modifiers, you can get a completely different map, even though it's the same one, depending on the order that you put them in, and it just can give you a completely different result. So you can play around with this as it's another way for you guys to get maps without requiring to message someone to go purchase them. But yeah, just try to complete as many maps as you possibly can. And another thing that you can do is obviously the Zana missions. So what you would do is you would put in the map, and then you would select this. Depending on you know, what maps that you're kind of looking for, you can try to use that. So obviously the white will correspond to the white ones, the yellow, yellow, and red, red. You can also do some of these as missions, and you can reset what Zana has in her inventory, or you can just check on her once in a while as you kind of play the game. That's another way that you can do it, is just check if she has any maps that you haven't done and try to do as many maps as possible. Once you've gotten all of the Trials of Ascendancy done, and I'll also link this down below, which is for the very final, actually, you know what, I can do this for you guys. So I mentioned before, channel 820. Let's see if we can actually go to it. So if I go to the global here and go to 820. Awesome, perfect. And you're going to see people start spamming the names of these. One thing that I like to do is write down which ones I have and haven't done. So like, obviously if I mouse over these, yours it might have blank ones. So this one, for example, is like Piercing Truth, then we have Swirling Fear, Crippling Grief, Burning Rage, Lingering Pain. These are all done on the maps. So you can see if someone says Trial of Burning Rage, 3 left, you would right click right here after hitting enter and whisper and say, invite please, and then they would invite you, and you'd be able to go complete the map. And that's the awesome thing with, you can see someone else is doing, yeah, there's Burning Rage, he's got 2 left, and these are free, like you don't have to pay them anything. Sometimes it's nice to give them a tip, like as in like give them like an Alk or a Chaos. Anything will probably make them happy. It's just, they're being awesome. So if you have a lot of currency, just give them something small if you want to. Usually they're happy with anything. But it's just another way where you can team play and get all of these done, because the next part, we're going to show off how to do the entire final lab. And this one's the most difficult. So if you're ready for a very slow-paced gameplay, especially for your first time, take things slow. But let's go ahead and hop right into that. Are indeed on the final trial, but now that we've completed all of these, as you're just going to randomly encounter these on the maps, any of the offerings of the goddess, you can trade these too. But these are required to enter, so take it slow. We're going to go ahead and activate this one, and it will consume one of these. But on the very final area, there is a guy that reflects physical damage, unless they've changed it. That's the only thing that's scary. But the map does change every day. A lot of times there's going to be a door that you will have to get the key for. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same one. The only thing I'm really worried about is a real random hit from Azaro. But we'll see. But I've taken out Abyssius, so it hopefully won't be that big of a deal. Because Abyssius was making us take a lot more physical damage. I probably should have instead of our helmet, because we have Devoted Devotion in right now. Whoops. And that just is for extra chaos res and movement speed. Oh, this is another key area. Okay. Spike trap over here. I hope I don't need a key to progress. But this one is going to be significantly longer. At least, normally these are. It kind of depends on your RNG sometimes too. This one's an insane trap. If you get hit by those spikes and that thing's running, a real quick game over. Potentially. I'm not really too afraid of the monsters. I'm just afraid of specifically a double trap setup, which on this one over here, we can run into that situation. I think we're gonna have to grab the key. So that's exactly what we will do. Oh, you can see it's supposed to be scary. I'm pretty sure this one's a gold door, though, right? Yeah, it's a gold door. Huh, fine. We'll take the silver key. We've also got a stone golem, so it'll make things, I would consider it a lot easier. Just have to resummon him sometimes. He just walks into the fire and dies. Yeah, there's not really too much I can do about it. So there's the golden doors passage. Okay. Quite long. Oh, there we go. Here's the scary part. Oh. It's one of these where like one door opens and another closes. Oh no. Okay. What is this? It's just a trove, okay. I don't think that's... There are puzzles in here, that's just one of them. And we ain't gonna participate. If I couldn't get it in the first like try, I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother. Oh, nice little rubber band. Wait, did I come from this way? Let me see. Oh, this is where we can get the key. Okay, perfect. This is what we actually needed. This one's really chill. Compared to the last one, it's just get from point A to point B. Actually, I don't even kill that. Come on, open the door. There we go. There's 2 switches on this one. Ooh! Ooh! I almost ripped. I have no idea how. Alright, I'll play it slow. It might have been because my rage is training? I don't know. Well, if you hit this lever, so we don't have to walk back. Oh, that one explodes. Lovely. You can just go all the way back without having to go all the way back. Okay, now we can go back to the golden door, which is right here. And we can actually progress. Which was right over here. And yours might vary from day, but usually the final lab will require you to get a golden key. Sometimes it's in the first room, sometimes it can be in like the next. We're on our first trial now. So what I'm going to make sure I do, pop my granite flask on every single slam. I'm not playing flicker now. So if I can make use, okay, we don't have it up. I'm going to resummon my golem so he's at full HP. Still want to try to dodge that if I can. Woo! That was scary. I don't have any more granite flash charges. Okay. Got a little bit close. A little bit too close for my liking, I'll be honest. If I have another granite flask, I will definitely remove the diamond flask for it on the next one. Should have probably checked where to go, but whatever. Oh, getting a little bit of rubber banding, which is never fun. Okay, perfect. Hopefully it's not going up. Okay, good. So we can go to the right over here. Oh. Ooh. Someone's doing massive damage to us. Ooh, is already on the trial again? That was way too fast. Alright. Let me see if I have a granite flask. If I have a granite or like any flask with evasion, I definitely want it. Ooh, we don't have. Oh, wait, I do. Okay. I can actually slam it with one more modifier. Oh, that one doesn't really matter. I'm gonna probably just run 3. I really don't need the sulfur flask, or really this, to be honest. This isn't too bad though. But since these flasks need to be refilled, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk back, and this is something that you can definitely do. It's worth it. 100% worth it. I probably should have popped that granite flask. Instead of trying to fill it up, but I just noticed I was like, I'm not doing enough damage. I want them all full. Okay, almost. There's just the granite flask. It's like one more charge. Okay. Okay. Oh, it makes us reset our rage anyways. That's really unlucky. Ooh. I was scared. I actually popped both my granite flasks because I got so scared. Okay. I mean, the other one technically will give me extra LE res, but I'm already capped out anyways. What I would want actually is a basalt flask, but I just didn't. Do I even want to engage in this thing? I don't think I want to. I'm going to double check on this one because it might be the area that I need to go to. Up to the top right. Okay, so I might be able to skip out on it. If I can skip out on it, I definitely want to. And if you hit F1, you can cycle through the ping on your FPS, which helps out. For sure. Wait, 84 right now? One or two more. Okay, we don't want this area. No, don't tell me I have to go through. I have to go through that. Sometimes you have to, though. Nope, it's not that way either. Okay. Ooh, that could have been really dangerous. Could have been a quick death. What the heck? Is this not where we're at? Okay. Is that even open? Okay. I want to go refill my flasks one more time. Well, at least, like, I need this to be up. And since I have that, Pantheon, I have that one on regen, which is, well, I should probably not look at things during this, but so the monsters aren't really a problem at all. It's just the boss. We're getting like kind of close. Like 5k life is what I consider like pretty decent, unless you have a high evasion pool. I think one more. That one was really fast though. Sometimes like some of the no, that was one of those double setups that I was talking about. I'm probably gonna have to go through it. Yeah, okay. I think this area only has one exit anyways. So right now, go over here. Okay. Okay. all of our flasks are filled up. We're ready to go. Alright, the final one. Now, there's a guy that sometimes he's in the, like, bottomish left. He has Reflect Fizz. Don't touch him. Don't touch him at all. And there's a lot more traps on this one. Oh, I didn't actually want to hit that Blood Rage, but... Oh! Come on. There we go. Alright. I don't know if he's here now. I just, like, I'm so scared of him because I've died to him so many times. Okay, he's not here. But I want to say he's on, like, on the bottom leftish sometimes. And he will have Reflect Fizz. And we don't really have anything to stop it. So, all that matters is we got our last Ascendancy. And that got pretty close, which I kind of like it when it's close because it makes it more entertaining. But for the final part of what I want to do is I want to get Aspect of Carnage. Now, if you want to respec, you can do it. But the only ones that would be viable are, for me at least, I think Aspect of Carnage is okay. Pain Reaver also got a little bit of a buff. It grants you extra damage and leeches life and mana, which is kind of nice because if you want, you could kind of unspec out of this and you'd have 4 extra points unless you wanted to grab this, which at this point I'm not sure if I'm going to get till way end game, but I might not even grab it. But it'll give you some extra points, as I think everyone needs some sort of like life leech for sustain, which will be more defensive. But it also does give you some offense with the increased attack speed and increased maximum total of life recovery per second if you've taken a Savage Hit. What a Savage Hit is something that removes at least 15% of your max life. So basically, if you get hit really hard, you're going to get a big boost to your leech. But I think that this one overall is going to be what most people want. If you're going Zerker, you're probably going to want to take this. But I usually just get this one last because I feel like the damage is pretty A-okay up until towards the end of the game. That's why I get this one last. Like, I would much rather have the crit chance. But we've kind of swapped up the build, at least as of right now. Especially on Azara, I would probably not recommend Flicker anyways on that fight. But now we get to have one of the best enchantments in the game. This is the Helmet Enchant. The Helmet, or I guess the Boot Enchant is like okay too. The Boot is more consistent, but the Helmet is the one that will be insane. It can boost up any skill. I honestly don't want to do these once again, but like I can do the third version of it, like, and farm it, but the last one I do not like farming at all. Most people will want the Helmet, but it's like your chance of getting it is like less than 1 out of 100. Like, it's so bad. I'm going to go get it on these boots because I actually don't mind these boots. And they're like okay. It's just that I haven't shown you guys the boot one yet, so I want to do this. So it adds damage if you've been hit recently. That's actually not too bad. I wish it was fire because we can scale fire a little bit better, but it's still like free extra amount of damage that we can pretty much maintain. So I like it for that reason. But we still have those chests. Might as well go ahead and open this up. And unfortunately, we really didn't get anything out of that. But we got an Offering of the Goddess so we can farm this again if we wanted to. And you could do this as a form of endgame content to make some money. But you wouldn't just rush the boss. You would do all the key things, and if you want, like, you know, it can be a form of it. Because those chests at that very end are usually pretty good. It's random, but that is the final lab. Alright, so once you've completed the very final lab, another question that I actually had gotten asked, which was, hey, I don't really want to interact with people via like trading the currencies, and that's totally fine too. Like I mentioned before, I'm just showing you guys all the different resources. So one thing that you can do is you can look up different vendor recipes, and I'll also link like a wiki guide that will show off few of the other vendor recipes. I'm showing off the ones that are like more important. There are lots of vendor recipes that are like almost worthless for a majority of players, but the fact that they do exist, just in case you are playing like a niche build or there's very specific things that you want, I'll just link it down below. But if you go to Lottie, you can, I mentioned before that you can purchase a bunch of things, but someone was like, hey, I'm looking for another thing, it's not here, right? Now you can't just straight up buy every single thing in the game. However, there is a area where you can actually purchase whetstones as well as the armorer's scrap. So if you go to, you can technically go back into another act too as well, but if we go back to specifically the Sarn Encampment Act 8, we can go to Hargan. This is so you can actually increase the quality of your items. So if I go to purchase items and I go over to the very last page, if I need to get the glassblower's bauble, the blacksmith's whetstone, or the armorer's scrap, this guy will also have them. He has infinite, so you can keep on purchasing them from him, or again, you can just purchase it from players, but I wanted to show that off in case any of you guys, again, didn't want to interact with some of the players. So in terms of the other items over here that I want to mention, so this is what I was talking about before, where if you are looking for a very specific thing in the game as far as the, let me actually pop one of these up. So for example, on the Pantheon, my key is Y. Does it actually have the hotkey? I'm not sure what the default key for the Pantheon is. Let's see. You can go to options and change under the what is it, input. Whereas I have mine on Y. So it's Pantheon panel is the exact name. So if we open this up, I mentioned before that you guys can put in a vessel. It will make it a little bit harder, but you'll be able to complete the map. And let's say you're looking for a very specific one. I'm going to show you guys how to do that really quick. So what I would do is I would go back to my hideout, and I would not only put it in the map, but I would also put it in the corresponding correct, like this one might not work for it. It might just not work because it doesn't have like a specific boss that spawns in. So what this is it's trying to complete the Pantheon. So I'm going to just highlight over the Arakali over here. So you can see it says capture Queen of the Great Tangle. If I go ahead and just let's go to wiki, let's see, it says capture Queen of the Great Tangle. And I just type that in PoE wiki. Over here, let me go share screens, and now you guys will be able to see Queen of the Great Tangle. What is this? All right, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. So it'll tell us what we actually need to do. So it can be obtained by defeating the Queen of the Great Tangle map boss. If I go ahead and click on this, it's going to show what it is. So it's a map boss of the Jungle Valley map. So that's what we need, Jungle Valley map, and that's how we go ahead and actually complete that one. So we put in that specific map. Again, I don't know which ones that you guys want or want to do for your build, so I'm not going to do this whole thing, but what I would do is I would put in the little vessel here, and I would also put in this one, and we would hit activate, and as soon as we're done, we want to click on here and take it back out, and then you'll just talk to Sin, and you'll be able to complete it. You can also, I'm guessing you probably have Sin at your hideout, but you just go over here and you would talk to Sin. He's over here, and then you can open up Pantheon, and he'll complete it for you, and it'll have a little indication that it's completed for you guys. But that's just a brief rundown on how you go ahead and complete all these. Now, this thing will go away. You will have to get more divine vessels. How do you get divine vessels? You can get them as a random drop, or you can go and purchase them from players. And let me give you a good reference just in case you guys do want to grab one of these. So it's just a divine vessel. And these aren't too expensive, so completing these is another good thing to go ahead and do. It looks like they're about 2 chaos a piece, so they're not super expensive. And again, you will have to do it for every single one that you want. Maybe, for example, if you're immune to chaos damage, which is a thing that you can do in the game, getting the chaos resistance is kind of pointless, right? So choose the one that you want. Which one would I recommend? For me, I've always really liked the one that grants you extra damage reduction. Either you can do it for each nearby enemy, or you can go for, for example, this one also makes it so you have 10%. Let me actually move my face out of the way so it's not blocking anything for this. But you can make it so you have additional physical damage reduction, you have a chance to avoid projectiles or dodge if you've been hit, or you can avoid projectiles that have chained. I really do like the one that's specifically against bosses. That's generally where a lot of people do die. And this one for the capture vision, just that's useful. And then the other one where you take no extra damage from critical strikes if you have taken a crit strike. So that means if you get hit really hard, a lot of times you'll activate like your Immortal Call, and that will also make you take a lot less damage. But that's nice as well. And also you can avoid ailments. The one that really matters for majority of the time is being like frozen, or yeah. So that one can be good too. Like all of these would be viable for like our build over here. That also counts the minor gods. The minor gods are the one that I really like and a lot of people really like is Shikari. So that's reduced chaos damage taken. I was running this one specifically for doing any of the lab ones. I like this one because it just refills the flasks. Now that I've gotten my Enduring Cry, I don't really need the flash charges as like, just in case I'm not engaging in a fight for a long time. If I take a lot of damage from, of course, the rage mechanic, I will be able to just pop this instead. So I like these. These are ones that I can recommend for most players over here, just because chaos damage is something that can do a lot of damage to you, but choose the one that you do want. Again, it depends on your build, and I'm sorry I can't give you guys like what is the 100% best one. It depends all on your build. You can also take a reduced reflect damage if you want to, and for example, like this build doesn't do well against any map that has reflect. So I could if I wanted to, if I happen to specifically want to do a map that does do reflect, I can equip this. Now, 25% is like okay, but obviously we need to get that a lot higher. If you really are interested in doing like maps that have certain things that normally I mentioned before, like I don't really want to mess with reflect, you can consider getting these nodes over here. There's 15%, 15%, so that's already 30%, and another 30, so that's 60% reduced reflect damage, and then you have an additional 25. So you can kind of build your character, and you can even swap to certain items that would prevent like a certain a mechanic in the game. Like there are items that will make you immune to, let's say, temporal chains, and that could be a modifier that is on a map. Let's say let's see if I identify this one, and perfect temporal change right there. Like I don't really like doing maps with temporal changes because it makes you like go super slow. There's also minus maximum resistances, and there's less curse effects. Some of these things won't matter at all, but again, don't feel like you have to lock yourself to specifically sticking with one of these. You can capture all the souls, and you can swap in between whenever there's like a certain map mechanic where it's like if they do like a certain like a monstrous poison on a hit, hey, check out that infinite drifts, swap to that. Swap to what you want, and that's kind of the nice thing with Path of Exile. There's so many options with the game, and remember, you can change this again at any time. You just can't do it mid-map, as in like go out of the map and then you can do it. But anyways, yeah, just keep on completing more maps, and I'll see you guys in the next part of our PoE playthrough. Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, and if you happen to be new here and you're just seeing this for the first time, check out the part 1 of our entire PoE playthrough if you'd like to. But yeah, there's just so many mechanics with this game, and I haven't really made any big changes to the build. I got this as a drop. It's not really anything to mention, but all it really does is grant us extra movement speed. So when we Cyclone, we move a little bit faster, as I'm primarily using Cyclone as our skill right now. So you can see like how fast we go. When we pop this, we go a lot faster. I also need to build up Rage in order to move even faster, but it's a nice other thing that can give me extra movement speed. It's not, again, it's not really useful at all. I just picked it up and I was using it because I was clearing out like lower tier maps, and that's another thing I want to mention. If you're doing like someone like the white maps and like you're basically clearing things super fast, like you're like, I haven't done a lot of these white maps, I have a bunch of them, you can just change up your build to be a little bit faster, maybe have less damage. Like for example, you might not need like a granite flask like Lion's Roar over here that gives you extra damage and damage reduction because you're killing everything super fast and you're not really taking any damage. So you can think about, oh, I'm going to throw in another Quicksilver flask. Go faster, be a little bit more efficient. Feel free to do that. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. I'm signing out. Peace.